The man, the son, stood on the dirt path looking back and forth. It was hot today. Frustrated, he kicked at the dirt with his sandal. The tip caught a rock that shot into the distance with a zing like a deadly projectile. Oops. He was really nervous. He had to be careful with his strength. His father had warned him over and over about that. He looked up the slope in anticipation. What was he going to say? He exhaled loudly. Where the hell was he? This was the correct road, wasn't it? He looked around, remembering. Yes, this was the road. He looked back down the slope and squinted down in the distance. Yes, his cousin was down there, dunking people in the water as he spoke and having the time of his life. He could go down there and warn him too, but would he even recognize him? Stupid. Of course he would recognize him. His cousin had been gifted with the sight. He got everything else. No, he couldn't warn his cousin. He would be beheaded, and that was all there was to it. Besides, it's not what he was sent back for. He scratched the back of his hand absently and broke the scab. Damn. Blood began to ooze. Damn, he touched his finger to the open scab and it stopped bleeding. He looked up the road again. His father had been so pissed off when he arrived. His uncle was elated. His face was bright red and he was laughing his head off, rolling around on the ground, absolutely giddy at the screw-up. How could I have been so stupid? Hello, brother? The voice behind him startled him and he spun around. He was so shocked he threw a blast of energy at the figure. The man smiled and raised his hand calmly, causing the energy to blow past him. He tilted his head quickly. I am sorry, brother. I had not meant to startle you. Huh? Oh, no problem. My fault. I should have been paying more attention. Very well, the man said, nodding his goodbye as he began to move past him. No, wait, I've been waiting for you. The man smiled again and tilted his head with a question. The man was in his 30s with a kind face that shone in his light brown skin beneath a beard. He stood before him calm and innocent, with no idea he would be dead in just a few short years. Look, he took a breath. I was sent here because I need to tell you something. And, well, I screwed up. The man continued to smile. Did you commit some sort of crime, my brother? Yes. No. Yes. Sort of. It's way complicated. Look, I was sent back by our father to explain things to you. The man had no reaction to this and continued to smile and wait. You know, our father? My son, if you are plagued by demons, I could certainly see clear to aid you in... No, dude, I am not plagued by demons. Look at me, see? He stepped back and spread his arms. I'm you. The man smiled and waited, his eyebrows furrowed in sympathy as a pitiful look shone in his eyes. Dude, you have to understand, I am you. I know who you are and where you're going right now. The man's look of pity turned to an inquisitive stare. Okay, he put his hands up in surrender. You've been gone for a while, learning and growing, right? I know because I did the same thing, and now you have returned, and you are headed down there to see our cousin, to be baptized. He, by the way, has been prophesizing your coming and doesn't know you're back, and you're going to surprise him. The man's face began to break. Right? Because you are the coming that the prophets have foretold? The man stared with pity. Jesus, what do I have to say to convince you? Look. He spat in the ground and made some mud. Look here, huh? He picked up the mud. Cures blindness and wounds, huh? Water to wine? Death is just sleep? Oh, and he raised his robe and showed him his feet. There were holes in them. And he held up his hands. There were also holes in them. Huh? How about that? The man looked confused. Oh, they're going to kill you. Crucify you. You know, it's part of the gig. The man's face changed and understanding surfaced. They're going to kill me. Yeah, well, you're a young radical, and you know how they are with young radicals. The man's face contorted to confusion and sadness. He squatted and thought, what was it you needed to tell me? Oh, that, yeah. Well, we got it wrong. John got it wrong. Everyone got it wrong. Even the prophets got it all wrong. What? Well, that love, Holy Spirit, Father, and one God thing, that is not the message. It's not. No. But no. Don't go there. It's not. Trust me. The level of death and destruction that comes from what you are about to, what I did, he shook his head. You don't want to know. The man looked extremely confused. death and destruction from talking about love and peace, the man said slowly. Look, he squatted down next to the man. I know it's hard, but most people in charge are afraid of that shit. Losing control of the people, it breaks down the establishment and all that. You have no idea how out of control things will eventually get, especially after the Council of Nicaea. I don't get it. I'm supposed to talk about our Father's love and forgiveness and no! So what am I supposed to talk about? Laughter. The man looked up. Laughter. Exactly. Laughter. Comedy. Fun. And the freedom to just be. Well, that's just paganism. Anarchy. That's what the world is now. I know. We weren't supposed to change the world. We're not. No. Just urge more of the same. Your voice will be a rallying cry to the established norms. The people will laugh, and they will be free, and there will be comedy. I've seen it, and it's fucking hilarious. And for this, I'm supposed to die. Oh yes, well, the establishment doesn't want anyone with too much power, whether they are with them or against them, so yes, you will still die. When? When what? When do they kill me? In just a few years. But don't worry, I've got something else. What? You're gonna meet this hottie, Mary, and you and she, my mother? What's wrong with you? No, Mary Magdalene is her name. And this time around, you get to, But I still die. He was getting agitated. Yeah, that's why I don't want to fucking die, not for comedy. Dying is easy. Comedy is some tough shit. And I die for just talking about comedy? I die? Fuck that! He rose up from the ground. Jesus! The man turned around and started back up the hill the way he had come. Where are you going? I'm going back. Fuck this. Dying for love, for peace, for a revolution that changes things? That's some shit. Oh yeah, he told some jokes and they killed him. That's fucking pathetic. My son, my brother, please. No. If you know how this is supposed to go down, then you go down there and do it yourself. I'm out of here. Jesus turned and walked back up the slope the way he'd come. He didn't even look back. Oh, shit. The clouds moved, and high above, you could see that their father had arrived in the form of a dove and was circling, waiting his moment. Shit. I really fucked up now. This is a disaster. He looked down the road. His cousin John was preaching up a storm. He squatted on the road for a while, then suddenly he stood. Fuck it. He placed his hands over his feet, and the holes healed without a scar. He did the same for the gash in his side and both of his hands. Then he took a breath and walked down the hill to greet his cousin. Well, he was only a few years off. It wouldn't matter. He should warn John to quit while he was ahead, too, and not make any jokes at the expense of Herod. How should he greet him? Hey dude, I just came down for a swim. He's gonna baptize me, though, and that's where it all starts. He took off his water skin, took a sip, then held it up, said a prayer. Then he swallowed several gulps of wine until he felt loose. Okay. A Roman soldier walks into the desert with a goat. He smiled. Yeah. Let's do this.